is a handheld microphone stand.
Good morning. I can't read it. It's too far away. Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm almost organized. Now let's try it. Okay, welcome to the Namaqua Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Mim Neal, and I am today's Worship Associate and Comic Relief. Each week, we say that this is a come-as-you-are congregation. What we mean is where is my script? Oh, it's gonna get better. I can't find it.
I just go with this one. That's okay.
Hello?
Okay. Takes a village to get me. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. What? Yay, Bill. Okay, so what we mean is whether you are happy or sad or scared or lonely or just confused, you are welcome here. Whatever worship tradition you are used to, or if you do not have a worship tradition, you are welcome here. Whether you came because you heard that Reverend Clare, lowercase hammoor, is amazing, or you heard that coffee hour refreshments are outstanding, you are welcome here. Whether you wanted to be here or not, you are welcome here. We're glad you came and hope that you will be glad you came and that you will come again. To find out about future services and things that we're up to, sign the paper in the back and we'll let you know everything you want to know, well, most of it. Anyway, thank you all for coming.
Great. Religious traditions around the world teach us that one of the most fundamental ways that we care for each other is through hospitality, especially hospitality for strangers. The Hebrew Bible says to the Jews, "You should love the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt." Jesus tells the story of the Good Samaritan who cares for an injured stranger on the street. The Prophet Muhammad emphasized feeding and caring for travelers and guests, often sharing what little he had. Buddhists value generosity without exception. Sikh temples have large community kitchens where everyone, regardless of religion, caste, or status, can eat. Hindus take this practice to the next level with the Sanskrit phrase, Atithi Devo Bhava, the guest is God. I just returned from my first trip to India, and whether I was in a home or a temple or on the street, to be a guest was a joy. As a tall, white, blonde stranger in a strange land, I can't imagine feeling more welcome. I learned a lot through my senses, and today I hope to share some of it with you. After traveling 30 hours from Denver to Frankfurt to Delhi on a plane and there to Jaipur in a car through the thickest fog I've ever experienced, I was greeted at the door by my friend's mother and her 5-year-old granddaughter. They were holding a tray with a candle, some red powder, rice, and water. It was a greeting and a blessing. They took a moment to look at me, and then they circled me with light, offering a prayer, and dotted my forehead, saying, "Welcome to India." Over and over again, I experienced people taking the light of a flame and using their hands to spread it, to smudge the air with light. This is another ritual action that's shared by many religious traditions around the world. It's a blessing that can be offered by anyone, but in the home I visited, it was offered by an elder. Today, I'm inviting one of our elders, Mim, to give us this blessing as well. Let me give it to you here. The gift of her wisdom, the strength of her spirit, the fire of her commitment. How good it feels to be seen. How lovely to be loved. No matter who you are or where you've wandered, that's the spirit of this congregation. And so I invite you to join me in saying our congregational affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church congregation, and service its call. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. I invite you to continue spreading this light and this love by reaching out with a hug, a handshake, or a high five, greeting those around you. Nice to see you. This is it right here. This is all you need. Can I get you, how about I'll get you an order of service so you can see where we are.
Hi. That's good, yeah.
This is a very quiet singing bowl.
Listen up, guys. Come on. If you can hear me, stop talking. This is great. I should have Claire stand next to me in all my classes. Okay. You know this song. You know the song very well, but I've never sung this song in a round with you. I know. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to sing it through once together, and then there's going to be a part 1 and a part 2, and we'll just sing around a couple times, okay? You know it, though. So once, everyone. Come, come, wherever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, wherever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Come, come, wherever you are, wanderer, despair. Come yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come.
I feel like a lot of our kiddos are in the front row, but if there's anyone else that wants to come see Chez Bob a little bit easier, you're welcome to come down here. All right, can you all see if I hold the book up here? Is this good? Okay. This is called Chez Bob. Bob worked very hard at being lazy. Being lazy is making me very hungry, said Bob to no one. Maybe if I ask nicely, a bird will fly in my mouth and down into my belly. And there we see Bob, the alligator. And here's Bob screaming, "Hey birds, in here, please, thank you." And there are all the birds flying away from Bob. "No, but I said please and thank you," said Bob. "Lucky grass, I wish I had seeds on me, then I'd have all the birds I want." "Wait, that's it," says Bob as he sees the birds with the seeds out in the grass. "I will open a bird seed restaurant on my nose," said Bob. "Birds will come to eat, but I will eat the birds. And I will sell my super smart idea to other lazy alligators, and they will be rich and famous and great. I will have diamond teeth and a solid gold hat. I'll be full of yummy, yummy birds." Bob opened Chez Bob the very next day. "Welcome to Chez Bob, which is a real restaurant and not a trick," said Bob. "Let's see, I will have the bird seed," said a bird, pointing his wing at the only thing on the menu. "Good choice," said Bob. Bob seasoned a seed with all his favorite spices so his customers would taste extra yummy. "Delicious," said the bird. "I'll tell all my friends." "Oh, then I will not eat you," said Bob. "What?" said the bird. "I said so nice to see you," said Bob. And he couldn't wait to meet the bird's tasty friends. Soon Chez Bob was the talk of the trees. Birds flew in from all over the world to eat on Bob's face. It wasn't long before a little town sprang up around Chez Bob. The birds built a school, a library, a little park, an extensive public transportation system. That's weird, since birds can fly, thought Bob. And there's Bob with the town, the extensive public transportation. As a small business owner, Bob wanted to be part of the community, so he coached the basketball team. It's rewarding to be a positive role model for the birds I'm going to eat, thought Bob. And since he was new in town, Bob joined a book club to meet everyone, all the like-minded birds. He hit it off with everyone except the orange bird who wouldn't let anyone else talk. How rude, thought Bob. I'm totally eating him first. Bob treated his best customers to a sunset dinner cruise to thank them for their patronage. If it weren't for the birds I'm going to eat, I'd be out of business, thought Bob. And there he is with all the birds on top of him going on a cruise. That night, the birds stayed up way past their bedtime, chirping about all the fun they had with Bob that day. They look so cozy and warm together, thought Bob. Maybe the birds I'm going to eat will invite me over for a sleepover sometime. Bob imagined a sad, lonely song in his heart as he tried to fall asleep, all by himself. Maybe I should get a cat to snuggle with, or snack on, he thought. And there are all the birds falling asleep. The next morning, Bob was excited to see the birds. "Hey guys, I went for a walk this morning. I picked some pretty flowers for your nest. Oh, and guess what? I think I saw a turtle. Cool, right?" But before they got to hear more about the cool turtle, the sky turned dark. And there we see the birds rushing onto the page, trying to get to Bob. Crack! lightning and thunder. "Oh my goodness, a storm!" shouted Bob. "Quick, everyone, fly in my mouth for safety." The startled little birds swarmed into Bob's gaping jaws to escape the storm. "Now is my chance to eat the birds," thought Bob. "I cannot wait to see the looks on their little beaks when they check out my diamond teeth and solid gold hat. They will be jealous and amazed." But the little birds would not see Bob's hat or teeth. All the little birds would be inside Bob's belly. Bob looked around at the quiet, empty town. A solid gold hat seemed kind of silly now. Diamond teeth didn't seem so cool anymore. Bob could hear the birds in his mouth, laughing, playing, cleaning his teeth. Bob knew what he had to do, and there he is, looking a little bit sad. He opens his mouth. "Yay, Bob saved us!" cheered the birds that Bob was probably not going to eat. I don't think hero is too strong a word, do you?" asked Bob. "And a hero deserves a super secret hero surprise," said a bird who was very excited. "Follow us." And there the birds go, leading Bob. "We've been working on a Bob-sized nest, especially for you," said a bird who was good at keeping secrets. "Now we can always be together," said a bird with a big heart. "Oh my gosh, you are all so sweet, and I should know since I just spit you out," said Bob to the birds he was absolutely, without a doubt, definitely not going to eat. The end. I invite us to make a little tunnel of care as our folks head off to RE. The spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround. Let's do your. Oh, you want to do this and then you're going to do this after? Can you do this and then do the chalice lighting?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Do you just want to hold it?
I'll have to get taller. All right, good morning. In 1993, Rotary International was holding its annual convention in Melbourne, Australia. I was in charge of publicity, helping Australian news media accurately report the significance of a gathering that would bring 22,000 people from 100 different countries into Melbourne. My small and largely inexperienced staff were doing the best we could. Our office space was adjacent to the space reserved for the host Rotarians from various sites in Australia, working to choreograph assistance for the Rotary International staff, stretched thin to exhaustion to coordinate the massive meeting. My staff and the neighboring Rotarians could see and hear our respective struggles. We sort of bonded, taking rare coffee breaks together, sharing information about our homes and families. One of them, Erin Southey, overheard my accounts of pre-convention visits to area attractions around Melbourne and found them insufficient. He said I really needed to visit the top end, the northern Australian area near Darwin. I had seen a PBS special on Kakadu National Park and I knew I wanted to go there. So, after our shared time in the convention trenches, I knew I liked and trusted John. I found a way to get to Darwin, where John had reserved a motel room for me. The next day, John drove me through Litchfield Park. I marveled when he shared the Aboriginal stories for every place and the use for every plant. Litchfield Park, if you ever go there, has the most amazing termite mounds you've ever seen. And they don't bite, at least not me. Anyway. I was stunned and grateful when he helped me arrange a 2-day tour of Kakadu Park. In those 2 days, I saw more kinds of animals, birds, and plants than I had seen in all my previous years. Termite mounds, crocodiles, spoonbills, water buffalo, jabberoos, storks, etc., etc. And it was marvelous. And then, when I returned to Darwin, John and his wife, Erin, provided a picnic lunch on a local pier. We sat there, our 6 feet dangling above the water, basking in sunshine and friendship. Years later, I was helped to guide their daughter to see prime parts of Chicago, which is when I lived there. Erin and I still exchange Christmas cards, and she sends me little things from her Facebook page. Reciprocity reigns. Deep hospitality endures. Hallelujah.
Do I do the chalice lighting now?
Over the centuries and around the globe, people would place candles or other objects in their front windows to signal passers-by that they would be welcome or help could be provided. This chancel is our front window. When we light the chalice, which is a symbol of Unitarian Universalism, we invite all here present or on Zoom to join us in thoughtful silence as we explore how best to navigate our chaotic but wondrous world.
Let's give Mim a little love. This is time for our offering. In addition to supporting this church, half of your donations support a local nonprofit. During the 2 months of March and April, we're giving to WRV, Wildlands Restoration Volunteers. It started with 20 people and has grown to 3,500 volunteers. WRV empowers residents to care for the land through Wildlands University and a bilingual youth and families program. Their activities along the Front Range include projects on the Big Thompson River. If you'd like more information, Pedro Lopez serves on the board. Please give generously. I'd like to invite us into a moment of meditation. So I invite your body to be comfortable, however that feels for you. And if it feels good to let your eyes be closed, let them be closed. Or maybe just look down if that's better. And let's begin by taking a big breath in and letting it go. Another deep breath in all the way into your belly, holding onto it and letting it go. And one more going all the way down to your toes. Take that big breath in, holding onto it and letting it go. I invite you to imagine in your mind's eye a moment when someone showed you some incredible hospitality. It could be a moment like I'm thinking of where Mim had me over for cheese, but bought 12 types of cheese, way too many than we'd ever be able to eat. It could be a look. It could be a beautiful meal spread out in front of you. Take a moment to think of just one time when you felt so loved by someone's hospitality. I invite you to look around that room to see everyone or anyone who's there. To take a breath in, smelling that food or that care, whatever it was. Take a moment to feel how your body feels being cared for in that space. And I invite you to just take a snapshot of that person's face who's caring for you. A snapshot of that person who is welcoming you so lovingly. And I invite you to offer them some gratitude by imagining that there's a gold thread attached to your heart that runs all the way to theirs. And through that gold thread, I invite you to send them some gratitude, to send them some love. And I invite you to imagine that they're sending you the same thing. Gratitude for being in that moment together. Love for who you were right then. And let's take a big breath in here, feeling how good it is to be seen and loved and cared for. And let it go whenever you're ready. And give just one more breath of gratitude, breathing in that love that you're feeling in this moment. And letting it go, knowing that you can come back to it at any time. That hospitality is still there in your heart. And that you have an opportunity to share that with someone else. And let's just take one moment to sit here in this feeling, whatever it is that's coming up for you. And when you're ready, I invite you to give yourself a little hug, a little squeeze, a little bit of gratitude for that moment, gratitude for showing up, Gratitude for being alive this morning. And when you're ready, I invite you to let your eyes flutter open and come back. This is a poem by Rumi that's translated by Coleman Barks. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Each week, we hold space in the service to be grateful for whoever comes, whether that's a joy or a sorrow, whether they're visitors or people who have been here for years. And so there's an opportunity to share your joy or sorrow with the community. If you'd like to, we'll share the mic with you up front. And I'm going to invite us to respond in a way that I love. We're going to say to the person after they've shared with us, we hear you, and we hold you, and we care for you. And I like this because it does a couple things. It lets people know that they've been witnessed, that they've been heard, and it also reminds us that you are welcome, and that we together welcome whatever it is you're bringing into the space this morning. So if anyone has a joy or sorrow they'd like to share.
I have a joy to share because my daughter, who lives in Pennsylvania, came out to help me kind of get organized. Those financial things that you let go and other things that you forget to do. Well, she's very organized and just wonderful. It was great to have her here, and it was so nice. She hadn't been here for 8 years. We've seen each other in New Hampshire and in Pennsylvania, but she hadn't been here, and so it was great to have her here. So it is a true joy that she came to visit.
So for the joy of visits and for getting organized and for people who love us, let's say we hear you and we hold you and we care for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me.
I'd like to share kind of a bit of both, honestly. So when we just did that meditation, I was thinking about my friends Luke and Eric, who were roommates, and they always invite me and my family over to share a meal with us. So that's the joy. And the sorrow is that I actually lost my friend Eric to a brain aneurysm 2 weeks ago. So it's been really rough. But
So for the joy of memories, for the gifts that those are and will continue to be for you, and for the sorrow of grief, we hear you, we hold you, and we care for you. Thank you for sharing that.
I have a joy, and I have a play next month. It's The Mystery at Wimberley Manor at Walt Clark Middle School, and I played the role as the butler, which is really fun.
So I did my PhD in theater, and my first role in third grade was the butler in Annie Jr. So for the joy of being a butler, for the magic of the stage, and for all that it may open up for you and your friends, we say, we hear you, and we hold you, and we care for you.
So, for those of you who may not know, I've been working at the Powerhouse, which is a power and energy research lab run by Colorado State University, and a lot of our funding comes from federal grants, and our government stopped paying its bills, so I'm out of a job in a few months, and my wife is also out of a job because why would our schools need music or arts or anything? So we're going through it right now. It's a little tough. Thank you.
So there's a poet who I love called Ross Gay, and he talks about joy as not great things that are happening, but joy is actually the underground union between us. It's our opportunity to go deep with each other. And so for opening that up, thank you for sharing that. And for all of us, in whatever way we can, sending love and sending light and sending hope, and also the network and the joy of this community, we got your back. And we say, we hear you, and we hold you, and we care for you.
So I think we're all going through a time of very scary transformation. And I'm trying to remember that despite the rather unnecessary amount of suffering, who knows what's going to happen next? But also in my personal life, that I don't want to get into details, but very similar parallel to lots of very frightening transitions that I'm trying to remember who knows what happens next, but it's I'm also feeling it on a personal level, and that's just overwhelming.
So I think you're speaking to something that is true for me and is true for a lot of people. And so for knowing that you're not in it alone. We hear you, and we hold you, and we care for you. Thank you.
We have one on Zoom. Tam says, my ankle is on the mend, and though I'm still on crutches, this latest attempt to defy gravity, quote unquote, might not take 8 weeks to be Tigger again, she says.
So for Tam, that we can look to the western sky and see you flying high, bouncing along for quick healing, and for the joy that you are, Tam, we say, we hear you, and we hold you, and we care for you. So for all, oh, yes.
Well, the reason for it was bad, but some of us went to the hands-on, hands-off, I'm sorry. Oh, no, oh, that was terrible. Okay, hands-off rally up in Fort Collins. And I don't know what the head count was, but I think that's something to be joyful about, that, like I said, the reason for it is terrible. But the fact that people are really being moved, and it was really incredible. They had wonderful speakers. The signage was so creative. One of our favorites was, IKEA has better cabinets. So we just have to keep soldiering on and keep being involved and voices heard.
Thank you. So for coming together in community, and for the joy of laughing through the pain, which is sometimes the only way through, we say, we hear you, and we hold you, and we care for you. For all those who are feeling uncertain, for all those who are feeling lost, for all those who are feeling joy today, and for all who are celebrating life's gifts, whether you've said them out loud or you're holding them deep in your heart, in beloved community, one more time, we say, we hear you, and we hold you, and we care for you. I don't think you need it. Sing a song with me. I went to India for a friend's wedding. It was held on an old and beautiful estate just outside Jaipur. I shopped for kurtas and pajama-style pants months ahead. The bride sent a lookbook with specified colors and styles for every one of the 8 events. I got to buy the most beautiful clothes I've ever owned. Hand-stitched floral patterns and sequins on everything. As I was ordering them, I joked, too bad I can't ever wear these in the US. Because here, when people of a certain race wear ethnic clothes of another race, people get uncomfortable. We haven't figured out appreciation because when we see outsiders joining groups, we see it as depreciation. It's profoundly unwelcoming. But in India, I experienced just the opposite. I was made to feel very welcome wearing Indian clothes. I received more compliments than I ever have before, probably if I add up all of them in my whole life. I hadn't planned to wear a turban for the wedding ceremony, but the bride's mother insisted. The process and skill of having a turban wrapped around your head is much more than I anticipated. But I was greeted with a smile by one of the wedding staff, and off we went. I was the only white guy in a turban, but I was the only one worried about it. I experienced a generosity of culture that felt so caring. How good it feels to be seen. How lovely to be loved. There is a generosity in sharing culture that disappears when people gatekeep it. This sharing made me feel welcome. It opened me up to experience the joy of the wedding. It was a golden ticket, an invitation to be part of the community, an act of love. Once I had my turban tied, I was ready to go, and I thought I was off to the main event, the wedding ceremony. We walked downstairs to the courtyard to see no one. This had happened before. The events the day prior started at least 3 hours late. We had lunch at 6:30 in the evening, and dinner started at 1 in the morning. But no one was worried. The generosity of time, up to about the 4-hour mark, was pretty incredible to witness. People found corners to chat in, or walks with friends, or rooftops with monkeys. I strolled through one of the courtyards, which was lined with antique photographs of the estate's previous owners. Maharajas in turbans posing after a pig hunt. A few dozen men from nearby estates posing in front of the building I was standing in. As the years progressed, more and more Brits began to join the pictures until the men in turbans nearly disappeared. Artifacts of a complicated and mostly ugly colonial history that isn't far away. I could have left fixated on that history, but then the past and present collided for me as the wedding ceremony finally began. It did take some strong nudging from a Hindu priest. There are times when it is auspicious for a particular couple to marry, and that window was closing. There was a public presentation of the couple where they exchanged gorgeous flower garlands, but then they walked into a grove of trees, away from all the guests, to sit on the ground with their parents and priests to actually get married. To be part of rituals that are from the oldest collection of traditions on earth. He's an atheist, she's an agnostic, but they still chose to be part of a lineage that stretches back thousands of years. It's a lineage that stood the test of time, not because it's dogmatic in the face of change, but because it believes in the universal rather than the particular. Hindus believe in at least 33 million gods. And with that many divine beings roaming around the cosmos, room is created for individual interpretations of every god. Worship styles change depending on the temple or the people who worship there. They're different from home to home, where altars to deities are specifically chosen for any number of personal reasons. But what is common across the Hindus I met is the importance of hospitality being offered to the gods. Gods are made welcome through an act of puja, which is the act of hosting them. That includes offering food and flowers and images of gods which are bathed and clothed. There's a full 16-step puja, which starts by inviting the god into the home. Offerings are made, like taking a seat, water to wash their feet, drinks, food, clothes, incense, flowers, and at the end of worship, the god is thanked and sent off on their way. Worship is literally the act of welcoming and caring for a visitor. Atithi Devo Bhava, the guest is God, is a Sanskrit phrase that appears throughout Hindu traditions. There are many versions of this, but I found the one in the Mahabharata to be particularly interesting. This is an epic poem that outlines the many Hindu traditions, compiled between 400 BCE and 300 CE. It's a collaboration across generations, and it's more than 15 times the length of the Bible. The writers of this text describe the 5 components of hospitality as pleasant looks, attention, sweet words, respect, food, and drink. Those are 5 actions I want to be able to offer anyone, because I know how loving it was to have them offered to me. The loudest voices in our nation have decided that we will be inhospitable to the rest of the world. They may try to limit diversity and creativity and compassion, but that doesn't mean we will. I left India nurtured from people I'd never met before, and that's a gift I want to keep giving. I want to find ways to welcome strangers into my life, even if it's just with pleasant looks, attention, and respect. Those are actions that are actually within my control. They're choices I can make every day. They're part of my liberal faith that values the inherent worth and dignity of every person. In the face of despair, I'm finding hope in traditions that have lasted the test of time. Across cultures and races and creeds is the joy of seeing guests in our lives as divine. Before leaving for the wedding, we did some shopping in Jaipur. I had a long list of people I wanted to buy gifts for. As we careened through the packed streets, I learned how to cross the street without crosswalks. Dodging autos, tuk-tuks, cars, cows, and even a tired but beautifully painted elephant, I found my way across because of the generosity of drivers. People had places to be, but it was nothing like the aggressive East Coast driving I was expecting. Instead, they just swerved and kept moving, unbothered by my minor disruption, welcoming this diversion into their lives even for a moment. I found a handmade shawl that I thought would be a beautiful addition to Namakwa Sanctuary, among other things, and a small hand-tiled purse for my youngest sister. When we got back to the house, my friend's 5-year-old niece wanted to see everything we bought. As we unpacked each gift, she kept track of who it was for. She was especially interested in the purse and my youngest sister. The next day, when I was leaving my friend's home, his niece ran up to me with something clutched inside of her hands. She opened them slowly to reveal a treasured pink and gold necklace sparkling in the sunlight. And she said, "This is for your sister." It was a gift for a stranger she'd never even met. How lovely it is to be loved. Love will guide us, peace has guide us, love inside us, will lead the way on the road from free to be. when strangers cross our path, may we find a smile. May we love despite our fears and be held in love by each other. For whoever comes, whether that whoever is a friend or a stranger or a feeling or a story we can't let go of, may we meet them at the door laughing, blessing them with the fire from within. May it be so. Let's take a big breath in here and let it go. Just take a look around you with gratitude for everyone who's here this morning, for showing up, for being in community. Have a beautiful week. So-so? Is that what this means? It was so-so. Oh, thank you. I was very pasty on my...